Tobias, hi. Kannst du mich hören? We can hear you. Perfect. All right. It's always a bit more difficult to use Facebook Live from the computer rather than from the iPad, but I prefer the computer because I can see you better, at least your messages. So, perfect. Good. Um, Before we start, let's make the chanting. So I hope you have the text, Hanya Shingyo. I sent it once on Facebook last time. If not, just meditate and listen to it. I will try to do it a little bit slower today than last time. Perfect. And later on, when we finish, you can have some question or some sharing. You can just write, and I will read your message, and then we can have a little invisible chat. Yaramita Shingyo Zaibo Satyo Jinnan Yaramita Jishoken Gon Gaiburo Isaigo Yakusari So we start with a little bit of energy work before we do Zazen. So, form a little ball of energy and feel it between your hands. Now we are going to move it a little bit from our hara. With the breath. Now bring that ball down to our hara, our stomach area. And just hold it there and connect to our stomach. Breathe into our stomach and into the energy ball, connecting both. Connecting also with our sexual energy. And squeeze a couple times your PC muscle, which is a collection of muscles. The muscle of your anus, the muscle of your perineum, and your sex. So all that muscles together are called PC muscles. Squeeze it a little bit up when you breathe in, and release when you breathe out. We bring now the energy ball to your solar plexus. Connect to your solar plexus and feel that energy ball in between your hands. And now we bring it to the heart. And basically we just hold space, literally we hold space for the heart, for our heart. Relax your shoulders. And if you want to change the quality of the energy, if the energy is too neutral or painful, you can always like kind of stroke the energy. It's like you're stroking the energy and it makes ripples of yes, good sensations, basic goodness. It's like you're stroking a cat or a sweet, cute animal that you like, or a baby. And then feel how the ripples are going to your heart. Now make the ball a little bit bigger and hold space for the whole entire body. Again, relax your shoulders. Include your feet also. Include your back, your spine. And include your breath. Hold space for your breath. Take a few deep breaths in and out. Make some noise. We take another energy ball, form it. And bring it up through our body towards the sky and down like a shower through the body. Let the energy flow through the body. Take energy from the earth, from the ball, bring it through the body, up, and to the sky, connecting and bringing it down through the body. And take a moment to just rest and feel the aftertaste. Okay, so find a stable position and then we are going to do meditation. Zazen. Move a little bit your body to the left, to the right, to the front and to the back. And find your center in your hara, in your stomach. Sit straight. Imagine here to have a rope pulling you up. From this line here, here's the highest point. Left hand in the right. direct your breath into your hara, your tanden, which is just below your navel. Bring all your attention to that point. And try to keep your eyes opened. break. You can change your position, stand up for a moment, move, but keep your focus in your hara. Maybe it's a bit too much. This. Today I would like to read something out of one of my favorite koan collections. It's in German, Die ganze Welt in einer einzigen Blume. It's by the Zen master Sung San, Korean Zen master, quite famous. This koan is from Taoism. Actually, it's not a classical Japanese koan, but it is from Chinese Taoism, Tao. And I will have to translate it from German into English, so I will read first in German. Wahres Wissen. Nicht-Wissen ist wahres Wissen. Zu glauben, man wisse, ist eine Krankheit. Erst erkenne, dass du krank bist. Dann kannst du gesünder werden. Die Meisterin ist ihre eigene Ärztin. Sie hat sich selbst von allem Wissen geheilt. So ist sie wahrhaftig ganz. True knowledge. Not to know, or the know mind in Zen we call it, is true knowledge. To believe that you know is a sickness in itself. First, recognize that you are sick. Then you can become healthier. The true master is a good doctor, is her own doctor. She healed herself from all the knowledge, from all knowing. So she is completely whole. This is not a philosophy, so it doesn't mean you do not need to know anything, or you shouldn't study the way for yourself. This is a meditation koan, so you sit with it and you see what happens within you. What does the koan do with you? How do you feel with it? Does it trigger something in you? For example, it could trigger that the notion within ourselves that we want to know. We all have that notion. I have that, and it always comes back. This sensation that I want to know, or I know. It's like a program within ourselves. So we cannot really turn it off, but we can recognize it, and we can learn to deal with it, and have some distance to it. So that notion of I know, and then if you have that notion and we're aware of it, that is a very good thing. If you are not aware of it, we believe that we know. If we believe that we know, we're clinging to our knowledge. And when we cling to our knowledge, well, then we identify with it, and therefore we separate ourselves from the true source of knowledge, which is not knowing. As Socrates said, I know that I don't know. So once in my session, someone said, oh, I know that I don't know. He said it right into my face. I know that I don't know. And I told him, well, that is knowledge. You need to realize that this is not a knowledge, this is a state of mind, not to know. It's a state of mind, which you can experience through meditation, and you can experience it also just by living from nowhere. And it actually happens all the time, we just don't realize it. You look at the sunset, and for a moment your brain stops, you listen to the air, to the wind, and for a moment you don't know, you forget yourself within it. So there are many moments where it actually happens. So this koan invites us to reflect. What do we actually know, and what knowledge do we hold onto? For example, I know I am a man, and I know I sit here, I am a human being, but at the same time I can let go of that knowledge and just let it be. So I do not let it go, I let it be. So instead of letting it go or holding it tightly, you let it be. So that means to not hold on to your knowledge anymore and to just let it be and let it flow through you, so you are knowledgeable, but at the same time you're connected to the source of knowledge, which is beingness. And when we know things, when we believe things, then knowledge becomes it can become very much fearful. It can make us afraid. For example, we listen to the news. If you listen too much to the news right now, that knowledge, it can make us afraid. We might believe or might get the feeling that we will get sick, or we will die, or make someone sick. So it is good to know those informations, yes, but at the same time it is good to let it be and not to identify with those informations so strongly that you actually become the fear. You start to resonate with the same energy in your body. You synchronize with that fear, you synchronize with that virus, and you become actually that sickness. Even if you don't have it, you might actually feel that you have it. So this is when you start identifying with it. Especially when you're very sensitive, it may happen to you that you actually become what you perceive. So in Zen, we actually say that you have to become one with the whole world, but at the same time, it's a paradox. You have to let it be. You have to be able to hold the world in your hand without holding it. The great English Zen master Shakespeare, he said, to be or not to be, that is the question. So in Zen you would say, to be without to be. That is the answer. To be without to be. So talking without thinking about what you say, just letting it flow. Listening without thinking about what you perceive, without trying to analyze it. And now comes the paradox, thinking without thinking about what you think. Just letting the thoughts go through you, and if you need to talk them out, then you just use that flow of thinking. But you do not think about your thoughts. So in Germany or in Europe, we say often, before you speak, think about it twice. So in Zen, it's kind of the opposite. You don't think about what you say, you just let it flow. And you trust into that flow. But that, of course, needs practice. So you need to become connected first to that source of not knowing, that source of emptiness, which is form, which is everything, which is not dead. Emptiness is not dead. It's actually full of life. It is life. It is God. It is the universe. So if you're not connected to that source, then you actually are not able to do that. You just think that you are doing it. You think that you don't think, but you actually are thinking without being aware of it, because you're not yet aware of your subconsciousness and what is all inside you. So you first have to clean the mirror and realize that the mirror that is within you is actually always free of dust. And then when you realize that, you can always be a free mirror, an empty mirror. Still, you do have to practice, of course. And practice is never finished, never over. Okay. So let's make another sitting. You can use this koan that I just told you about and see. You cannot really stop thinking or believing, but you can use that koan like a mirror, which shows you where are you holding to, which knowledge, beliefs are you firmly holding, grabbing. And so you can use it like a mirror, and this way, slowly, the mein Schatz, my holding, will open. Yeah, you know that movie, Mein Schatz, the from Tolkien, the Herr der Ringe, in English, I don't know right now. The ring. How do you say? So there is this ego symbolizing that animal. What is it called? This gnome which is holding it. How is it called? Yeah, I forgot the name also. But it's you know that, so this animal that is like mein Schatz, mein precious. Yeah, so this we all have that within ourselves. This feeling. Yes, Grom. Thank you. So it is holding what we think is important for us, what we think who we are, what we think the world is, our ideas, our experiences, whatever we are grasping, whatever we are holding. Yeah. So we have to find that inner little monster in us. Yeah, you know that monster. So that monster. So it's basically the negative part of our ego, because there is also a positive part of our ego, which is just who we are. Gollum, yes, thank you, Anna. Um, so uh, we have to find that part, and then we have to make peace with Gollum. We have to make peace with it, rather than fighting it, like many teachings are talking about fighting our ego, overcoming our ego. Zen is not teaching that. Zen is about making peace with whatever comes through us. When the Buddha was sitting meditation the first year, he experienced a lot of Gollum and a lot of mind and a lot of visions, and he just sat through it. He didn't try to fight it. He did not fight it. He just accepted it, just let it pass through him. Okay? And when path through him doesn't just mean emptiness, it means actually passing through your heart. Letting Gollum pass through your heart, letting it let the fear and the holding and resistance that we have pass the barrier of our heart, which is usually kind of protecting us, because we don't want to get hurt, and also because we don't want to show certain certain personalities which we have, certain traits which we own to other people. We are afraid of that, partly because we are conditioned to be a good person. And so Zen is teaching us to let go of that condition and trust into our inherent beingness, which is basic goodness, without needing to be conditioned as a good Samaritan or person, or having a moral. You need a moral if you don't have a heart, but if you have a heart, and you do not actually need moral. So as more you are settled in your heart, in your beingness, in your Buddha nature, we call it in Zen, as more you can actually let go of your condition, of your moral, and just be yourself, and start loving all your negative traits, your fear, your ego. And this way you free the Golem within yourself, and the Golem actually becomes your light, it becomes your protectiveness, it becomes your helping hand in a way, in a good way. It's unfortunately, I don't think there's the movies reflect that, because usually movies are about black or white, good or bad. So there is no transformation so much happening, and if transformation, then usually to the bad, like in Star Wars. So you can see the movie Chihiro. I don't know the name in English. It's a Japanese kind of cartoon movie, Chihiro. You can Google it if you don't know, or ask me later, I can show you. And in that movie you see how the good can be bad, and how the bad can transform to the good, and how both are actually working together, and cannot actually be so much separated. So this is what the Zazen is about, to face our true self completely, and as we are, our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, and make peace with it. And there's more, the true change happens not in big groups. The true change happens in small individuals, in individual persons, and in small groups. This is where true change usually happens. And so if you can make love to your ego, make love to your golem, find it and accept it and give it space, and free it from resistance, from fighting, from the war within yourself, then you actually start to make peace. And this is true peace. This is not just some artificial kind of peace that many are preaching, but this is, in Greek we call it the lux in tenebris, the light within the darkness. So we are transforming. This is alchemy, peace. we'll chant finishing sutra. Seganmon Shujomon Segando Bono Mujin Segandan Homon Muryo Segan Gaku Butsudo Mujo Seganjo Shujomon Segando Bono Mujin Segandan Homon Muryo Seigan Gaku Butsudom Jo Seigan Jo Shujomuen Seigan To Onom Jin Seigan Dan Homon Muryo Seigan Gaku Butsudom Jo Seigan Jo. Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to liberate them. Desires are inexhaustible. I vow to put an end to them. The dharmas are boundless. I vow to master them. The Buddha's way is unsurpassable. I vow to become it. And we bow. So that's it for today. If you have any questions, you can write right here, and I can, or you have something you want to share. Thank you, Xiao. Spirited Away. Yes, that's the movie Chihiro. So Xiao writes, are there still many people in Berlin streets? So yes, right now I don't know how many people are in Berlin streets, but when I was in the morning, about 7 o'clock, I was in the morning outside, and there were not so many people, but that's maybe because they're still sleeping. And yes, I think in this weather, today is a very nice weather. People will go again to the parks, and we are actually allowed to do so in Berlin. It's just that we cannot be more than 2 people, and we are also allowed to sit on a blanket and have some just time off. Last time, a couple days ago, we were actually singing with Nari, me and my wife, and we were singing at Spree, it's a river, and 30 people started to surround us and sit and listen. It was very nice, and then the police came and kind of dispersed each other, but still people had some distance to each other, so it was actually alright, there was no problem. But I think, yes. How's it in China? Um, well, China is big, so thank you, Petra. Uh, uh, Chow asks, are there still many people in Berlin? No, that's the other. Facebook. So hard. Are you against quarantine? So against quarantine, I am against quarantine. No, I'm not. Uh, I mean, I believe we don't know so what is this virus. So nobody of us knows. So everyone has to decide for himself. The government governs for the majority of people. It doesn't govern for the individual. So in Berlin, which is different than China or Italy, I think it makes sense not to do a complete quarantine. So, but in other countries, it may be necessary. Yes, Paul, you're welcome. So, gute Besserung. Gute Besserung. Why gute Besserung? Because I have a little bit allergy, you mean, or it's by the way allergy time for us here in Berlin. So if you have a little bit of sneezing or coughing or anything, it may actually just be allergy. So don't worry about being sick or anything. Yes. And also sometimes when I meditate, actually, I have running eyes uh, because I keep my eyes open and they just start cleaning themselves. So no, I don't have a cold. It's cold maybe here a little bit in the room, but I don't have a cold. Alright, so I guess that's it for today. Thank you very much. Oh, Tim Clark. Now I see, I actually don't have any clue who's right now watching. I don't see it. I only see the ones who write me. So now I know Tim Clark was also here. Last time I remember you were also here. So thank you for coming. And yes, so see you again next week again as usual here till I have another dojo room where I can teach again and where it's allowed, because right now it's not allowed to gather with so many people. So most also people who have own a room don't want to have a gathering, so we will do it, continue doing it online for now, and then see what happens next. So keep healthy and go out if you can, enjoy the weather, and see you again.